Hi guys, it's Rai Sports Gamer 1, and I'm here finally back with like a sports talk video where I talk about sports. The last one was like a month ago when I started YouTube about NBA free agency, and now I'm going to be talking about the Pistons and how they're going to do in this 2015-16 season. They've drafted Stanley Johnson, which I think is the right move. As you see that unbelievable block, I watched him in Summer League, and he had a lot of those. And in free agency, they got Aaron Baines, which I don't think that's going to be a huge deal. Also in free agency, they lost Greg Monroe, and I don't think it was that big. I mean, Stan Van Gundy, he's trying to do what he did in Orlando. He has that one big man, like he had Dwight Howard, and the Pistons have Andre Drummond, and he had tons of shooters around him, I can't even remember, Turkoglu, I think. That's actually the only one I remember. And that was throwback Turkoglu, the Onyx card in my team. And then they just were a really good team with one unbelievable big man. I can't speak. And they had tons of shooters, like I just said. That's kind of what the Pistons are doing. They have Andre Drummond, Pope, Brandon Jennings, and Jody Meeks. They just have all these shooters. And yeah, they should be pretty good this year. And I think they can contend in the East. And they also got Marcus Morris, which I think was pretty big for them. And now Markieff Morris, his brother, now has demanded a trade. Excuse me. He wants to get traded to the Rockets, but I have a good feeling that he might come to Detroit because they're brothers and twins, actually, and they've been together on the same team almost every year they've played a sport. And yeah, Markieff and Marcus weren't happy when they got drafted and they weren't playing with each other for the first time. And yeah, so now I have a good feeling that Markieff is coming to Detroit to join all these young players. And argue this, a lot of people won't agree with this. I think that Markieff Morris is a better player than Greg Monroe. I know a lot of people can argue with that. It's really close. They're both really good players, but Greg Monroe clogged up the paint for Andre Drummond, like what Josh Smith did, because he was the best in the paint, and we already had Andre, so he wasn't really needed, and he couldn't really shoot threes that good. So then it was pretty much a big waste of money, and now we still have to pay him. But he's a good player too. That's just not what the Pistons needed. But with Markieff Morris, he's a good three-point shooter. He doesn't have to be in the paint. He can rebound. He can get triple-doubles just like Marcus Morris. They're both great players, and I was kind of mad about the Morris trade, Marcus Morris trade, because they kind of knew they weren't going to get any free agents because it's Detroit and they haven't been succeeding and doing anything last 4 years, so no one really wanted to come there. They missed out on Tobias Harris, and then they finally found something that was going to be good for them, which was to get Marcus Morris. And yeah, so I think that will work out pretty good. He'll probably will be coming off the bench, but I don't really like Stanley Johnson starting in his first year as a rookie. That's kind of crazy. I don't like rookies starting their first game. I don't like it. And that was another terrible shot. I'm playing terrible in the background. And I just realized, no joke, that we were playing the Bucks and that we were playing Greg Monroe. And why is Reggie Jackson on Greg Monroe? That's crazy. But I would be very happy if Markieff did come to Detroit. He's a beast. and I couldn't remember when that trade happened. I was wondering the whole time, like, I was thinking, who's the better twin of them? I think it's Markeith, and he's older, I think, too, by like a couple seconds or a couple minutes. And Aaron Baines checked in. Let's see what we can do with him. And yeah, I had to look it up to see the season stats and all that to see who had the better career so far and all that. And yeah, now I'm gonna get the prediction in the East if they make the playoffs or not. I think they'll make the playoffs, but it will be pretty hard because the East is stacked. A lot of good teams. I see them making the 6th or 7th seed, really, because I don't think they're there yet. I mean, they have a lot of young players, but in a couple of years, I think they can get higher in there, and then they'll have more money, and they can get some free agents if they have a decent year this year. So yeah, that's pretty much it for episode 2 of Sports Talk, and yeah, I'll try to make a lot more of these. And here's more shooting 3, nails it. Bye. Everything is awesome. It would especially be awesome if Pistons made the playoffs. Bye.